countries have welcomed immigrants throughout this nation's rich history, giving rise to generations of bilingual individuals. Other Americans raised only with English have chosen to learn and adopt a second language in an effort to better communicate with other cultures of the world. Bilingualism is present throughout the world and a natural way of life for many, bringing with it various advantages and disadvantages. Being able to speak two languages with the facility of a native speaker, of involving or using two languages and spoken, written, or containing similar information in two different languages is how dictionary.com defines bilingual. Now that I have given you some background on the meaning of bilingual, let's look at its disadvantages. A disadvantage one might come across when being or learning to be bilingual is language confusion. Some bilingual speakers often find that they confuse words and grammatical structures from each language. A mashup of the two languages could also be a defect that is common among new bilingual learners. For example, some might be familiar with Spanglish, the mix of English and Spanish. Young children might find that using one language at home and another at school adds a degree of self-consciousness if that second language is weaker. While there is no scientific evidence that proves multilinguals begin speaking later, many parents estimate there is a 3 to 6 month delay compared to monolingual children for same age found on wordpress.com. And last but not least, it is an additional effort for the parents, but is a long-term investment for your child in the long run. After having heard its disadvantages, let's focus on the advantages. Most children have the capacity and facility to learn more than one language. Some advantages of being bilingual found on asha.org are being able to learn new words easily, playing rhyming games with words like cat or hat, breaking down words by sound, such as k-at for cat, being able to use new information in new ways, and connecting with a more diverse population. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, more than 1 in 5 school-age children speaks a language other than English at home. It is said that the number of bilingual speakers is projected to increase in the incoming years. Children who learn to speak two languages follow patterns of learning. The sounds of the first language can influence how children learn and use a second language. Found on Buzzle.com, in over 150 researches, it has been found that the practice of bilingualism is indeed beneficial, so much that it can be called a superpower. Many colleges and universities have included some foreign language courses in their regular academic syllabus itself, some even presenting a seal of biliteracy. So you can see it has a disadvantages, because I know some of you guys might want to read a book in Spanish if you are taking a Spanish class, but later on, like in work, if you have to translate for someone or do paperwork and some of it, the questions might be in Spanish, or it doesn't even have to be Spanish, like any other foreign language, it's good to know. After looking at both the pros and cons of bilingualism, let's focus on why more of us should lean more towards the advantages rather than the disadvantages. Just some of the benefits you can have for being bilingual are curricular, communication, and employment. One of the curricular benefits is that bilingual people tend to show higher performance in examinations like the SAT. In communication, because they constantly have to filter content of different languages, their attractiveness, interactivity, inhibition, and listening talents are heightened, which is a requirement for good conversationalists. They also get a deeper knowledge of different ideas and traditions, which makes them less prone to difficulties in communication while in a foreign country. One of the most important benefits is employment benefits. Biliteracy offers potential occupational benefits. Bilinguals can get excellent career opportunities in areas where particular immigration populations dominate, knowing that certain language greatly increases your chances of success in finding a job. Employers want the biggest bang for their buck, so finding an employee who both performs the job functions and understands a necessary second language is much more valuable than finding and paying two employees, one to do the job and one to interpret. An example found on AOL.com: put a few thousand business executives in a room and you likely won't find many with the same educational backgrounds, industry, experience, or job descriptions. But about 2/3 of executives do have one thing in common. 31% of executives speak two languages. According to a poll of 12,562 visitors to the Korn Ferry International website. A recent careerbuilder.com keyword search turned up more than 6,000 job postings seeking bilingual applicants. Employees who are bilingual in English and Spanish are particularly in demand. Latinos are now the largest minority group, accounting for half of the nation's population, growth since April 2001 according to the U.S. Census Bureau. In California, ones who hold bilingual positions earn an extra 58 cents an hour according to the state's Department of Personnel Administration website. In Washington County, employees in bilingual positions who spend 15 to 20% of their time in regular or frequent use of bilingual skills earn an extra $30 per pay period. To conclude, I believe being bilingual is important for all of its advantages. I encourage you to consider another language. I think about all the good things that being bilingual has given to me, and I know you will too find success if you are bilingual. So with that said, buena suerte, good luck.